There, excellent collection. Got over there. Oh, he's a long ones again. Let's just start putting these down.
Express for a second, it's like 20 written easy to read now. You do that one, the reunion. Wednesday.
There you are. Can you hear us now? I think you should be able to.
that.
And is it the same as usual? It's a bit loud. Just turn it
Uh,
down. But is that the same sound as you usually get, or have I got on a different
No
microphone?
sound, no sound.
No, I
no
know
sound.
this is all 20-second delay, you see. It'll come in now.
Yes.
Is it? Don't panic, don't panic.
That's right. Well, I don't know what's happening. I haven't got my screen up yet.
No, just Phil always panics because what's going on in real time, I'm 20 seconds ahead of you all, so I know.
I got sound.
Oh, there you go. No,
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I just
I've got
said on
something in my
the.
eye. It's all happening tonight. Right, it's good and loud. Different. It is a different sound. Thanks, Anne. Let's have a look a second. I'm going to fiddle around now, drive you all bananas, okay?
Right.
So I got the auxiliary there. Why isn't I got the auxiliary mic is not listening to me? Input can't hold one audio input. Chat, do something, sing and dance or something.
We're going to stick with what we got.
I don't want the
Rather than
desktop
move it.
audio.
You're going to keep moving it about, yeah?
Yeah.
Technical problems.
Right, I'm now going to go on to something else. I'm going to try something really daring now. I don't know if I don't think this comes up on your screen. Properties. This sounds very selection, isn't it?
I got sound.
Yeti. Yep, it's the wrong microphones. Yeah, right.
I'm going to start echoing now.
Okay. And then I'm going to turn that one off.
And now it should be the same sound as you usually get. I'll just check. That's worse now.
I got the echo.
Is it worse? Yep, you're following me. Things. Yeah, I think we're okay now.
We're on the right mic.
Right, now
there
I'm
we go.
leaving because I've got something in my eye.
Right, now Caroline's leaving because she's got something in her eye. I tell you what, we are the most organised people on YouTube, I don't think. I managed to both get you, and now she's wandered off because she got something in her eye. We didn't have sound. We had sound. You were all listening to us. Caroline's been trying to rig up a time mic system, and it didn't work, so we've had to order a part, which is coming tomorrow. And in the software side of things, see how technical I sound? She altered things around in OBS, and that's what we use for the live show, and that's why everything was going wrong. And the built-in microphone was picking us up from the laptop rather than this big Yeti thing, this blue mic that's in front of me, and now we've got it working. Anyway, lovely to see you all, and if I can reach over to Caroline's screen, I don't know, she's got it's weird. Oh, I'll have to wait for her to come back. If I start clicking buttons on there, it's all going to go wrong. She has her live chat so big that I can't even see where the thing is to move up and down. And if I can't move up and down, then I won't be able to find out who came in first, but she will. You're back. I can't move the didgeridoo on there, so I don't know how to go up to see who was in first.
Instruments, aren't they? Didgeridoos.
I don't know, but I can't find the thingamajig.
Aha, it's hiding in the corner there.
That's right.
Right, up to the top. And first one in tonight was Bonnie Tyler fan 34. Well done. And you are the person that makes me breathe a sigh of relief, because quite often I'll start up the live show and it can be like 10, 20 seconds. Nobody's come in. I'm like, oh no, is something wrong? Have I done one of the settings wrong? Is it me? Is it YouTube? And then somebody comes in and I'm, whew. So thank you for being first in. And second place was Jen W. And in third place was Ed Creative. So well done to you three. And hopefully now we're all sorted. You shouldn't have any more echoes. You weren't supposed to hear what we were saying before the show because my big microphone was off. But for some reason this weird microphone has come on. And you know me, I'm about as technical as a non-technical person. There we go. So, what's next?
What?
I'm all flustered now. Are you all flustered as well?
Yes, I don't know
where
where
we're all flustered. We'll just go have a coffee break.
we were having, well, I don't know, dinner, tea, whatever meal you eat when it's cooked for you and you eat it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We were having that at our eldest's home today, and I fell asleep at the table.
Phil hasn't been well today.
I'm a lot better than I was last week,
yes,
so I'm on the mend.
But still not right.
I took over 5 hours to do something that would normally take me about 3 hours this morning, and it was computer work, so I spent a lot of time on a screen, so I'm pretty tired. But we are here. That's the main thing.
Oh, Ed said, yes, Windows updates are terrible. whenever Windows does an update, I'm like, oh no, I've got to edit a video today, and it usually takes 2 or 3 days to settle. And the music drowned out what we were saying, so lucky they didn't hear the PIN number, wasn't it, for my
That's right.
credit card?
Indeed. They'll all be listening back
Wouldn't have
now.
shot it anyway. Right then. Lexi said low tea or high tea. It was a roast chicken dinner actually, and Phil gets a vegan pie.
Yeah, there we go. It was nice.
Yep.
We had our tea last week, didn't we? And it was our grandchildren and our son who we were with today that bought us the
Anniversary tea,
the
yes.
anniversary
You got
tea
there.
that was on
Well
the video.
done.
I'll get there, folks. I'll get there.
That was very nice. Right then, let's start with the question because it's almost 9:10 and we're still busted. Oh, before we do, thank you, Brian O'Brien, for your coffee donation.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
see
good.
that come up on screen. That's supposed to be there. Aha,
we
if I
sent
turn
it
that
by
on,
message.
alert box, maybe that's what I need.
There we go.
There
There
we go.
Now we've got an alert.
Right, so I can thank you very much, Brian. That's really kind of you, and we really do appreciate that. Thank you.
Ed thinks it's D.
You could be right, Ed.
Okie dokie, folks, a question. And I'll tell you what,
Go on then, tell us what.
I'll ask you a question that will lead up to the next question.
I'm confused already.
I know, I thought if my brain is fried, let's fry everybody else's.
Hello, Peggy.
So the first question
The first question.
is, and this is random, folks, it's a number between 1 and 5. That's the answer.
Ooh.
And the question is, how many golf balls did Mankey find while walking across the golf course to get to Morlaix Castle?
Go.
Right? It's a number between 1 and 5. It's a random guess. You know it's got to be at least 1 because you saw him find it.
Yes. Oh, he loved it up on the golf course. He was running around finding golf balls. Well, looking
Yeah.
for golf balls. He wasn't terribly successful, but he did okay. I'm not sure what he's going to do with them now. I dread to think. Oh, the answers are coming in. Oh, so we should have a winner by now. Right, we got anything up as far as 7?
Right. I haven't got any chat. The chat's down here. Sorry.
I know what's happened to Phil's.
My screen's gone big, so my chat is down the bottom. But I've got it.
Right,
there we
good.
go.
You give us answers and then you can talk and I'll fix your computer.
Right, so it had to be a number between 1 and 5. So I'm looking down until I see the number I'm looking for.
Ooh, has anybody got it right?
Yes, they have. In fact, I can see 3 correct answers all in one section of my answers. And because this was a random guesser question, everybody's having a go,
Yep.
which is lovely to see.
Equal playing fields there.
And I will give you the answer now. In the
Through the medium of dance.
no mime.
Mime, oh, right.
I'm going to mime the answer.
Go on then. What's that? Can you hear Mankey shouting the answer? I don't think it's picking up on the microphone.
There you go, folks. There's the answer.
It's lucky it wasn't more. Phil would never manage.
I would have done it by dance rather than mime.
Yeah, you should brought
The
it in.
answer was 3, and if my eyes serve me well, that means on this bonus introductory question, which leads to another question, then on the gold podium is Andrea Mazzari, on the silver podium is Judy Erickson, and it's Mr. Mike Sage taking
Well
the
done
bronze.
to you 3. Excellent.
So there we go. It was 3. 3. There they are. He found those 3 on the golf course as we were heading along. And here's the question. So here's another question. So get
Flower
ready.
Girl's Wi-Fi is lagging. Sorry about that, Flower Girl. It's a nuisance, isn't it? Ours lag some days, but it's pretty good today.
So here's another chance for another question based on golf balls. There we are.
based on
See
golf
how
balls.
sneaky I was. On the 11th of April, 1899, an American businessman and inventor got a patent at the United States Patent Office for a rubber wound golf ball. which soon led to a revolution in the game of golf. But the first record of golf balls goes back long before that.
Ooh.
Now, there are legends, there are tales, there are stories of shepherds using pebbles, etc. But my question is, how far back do we go to find the first record of a golf ball? Was it in A, the 15th century, B, the 16th century, or C, the 17th century?
Go. Interesting
Right.
question. While we're waiting for the answers to come in, a little bit of talk about the eclipse. And Flower Girl said there were clouds over her house. Sometimes we get some really good meteor showers, but more often than not, it's cloudy.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited, and then we never get to see them.
Yeah, they over on the Facebook group. I believe it's Anne has put up a picture that's a local photographer took of the eclipse, and a picture that they took of the shadows that were cast on the floor, because obviously you can't just point your camera at the sun sort of thing. You need the equipment to do that. So there's some interesting photographs over there.
Oh, we're checking out. When we had a massive eclipse, was quite a long time ago. It was a full eclipse.
We were living
and
in
we were
Factory
looking at
Road.
it. I had a pond, and we were watching it in the pond because you
The
could see the
reflection.
reflection, and you could see the moon coming over the sun.
see
It was
the sun
brilliant.
disappearing.
Because again, you couldn't look at it directly. We didn't need anything fancy. We just watched the pond.
It was eerie though, because all the birds stopped singing.
Yes, it got colder and colder. It
Yeah.
was the middle of summer. I think it was the middle of summer. We were in the garden.
We were in the
quite
garden, it was
comfortably.
warm, and it went quite, didn't go black, but it went dusk, and all the birds
Oh,
started
I think it
to
went
think,
pretty black, didn't it?
all
For
the
a very
birds thought
short
it was
time.
night time, didn't they?
They all went to sleep.
And of course, no sooner had it passed one way than it went across the other way. And
1997 could well be Beata, yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah, because we were down in Factory Road, and we moved down there in '96, didn't we?
Yeah.
And if eclipses are not your thing, then I think it was also Anne who put up pictures of plastic pink flamingos with skeletons
Oh, yes,
dancing
you
on
have
them.
everything.
I tell you, if there's one thing I cannot emphasize enough, it is the variety of content
That's
that
right.
we attract.
Anything as long
To
as
the
it's
Let's
family
Go
friendly
Facebook.
is welcome, and we get all sorts of
Yeah.
things on there, and it's a bit of fun.
And we try and keep it positive and upbeat and happy. And we get quite a lot of things over there, including Ed Creative's creation.
Oh yes, you got a really good
Inspired,
creepy
I
book this
believe,
time.
by the creepy book you did in your craft. But Ed went a step further.
Oh, I
'cause-
know, he's so clever.
Oh, I tell
He
you.
built his own skull on the
He
front of it.
Didn't have a skull, so rather than purchase a skull, he made one. Made the skull, made the book,
Very impressive.
and what an incredible outcome. Right, well then, folks, let's have a look here and see who's got the answer right on this one. Because we're asking, when is the first record of a golf ball? And it is actually in 1451.
There you
So
go.
that's the 15th century. It's that far back. Lots of stories, as I say, lots of legends and things, but there is a record of the golf ball being used in 1451. So we're looking for 15th century, which was A. So the first place goes to the man with an anchor, Mr. Adam the
Adam. Well done,
Victorian
Adam.
Mudlarker, followed immediately by the man who has just climbed off his bronze podium to climb up on a silver one. He's going up places this time. It's Mr. Mike Sage.
Well done, Mike.
And the person who got in first tonight is third in this time. So Bonnie
well
Tyler
done,
fan,
Bonnie Tyler
34. And there's got to be a special mention for Beata because there were 4 in a row.
Right,
A's.
oh, just
So a
tip
silver
right up to the
gilt
post.
medal for Beata as well. There we go. Yeah, that far back, folks. 1451, the first record of what we would recognise as a golf ball. Although it was probably made of wood.
Yeah. Would have been a
Rather-
little dimply one.
Yeah, it would have been probably made of wood, and then they would have got clever and got wood covered in leather. But of course, it was a big game changer when they came up with a rubber wound ball, because that didn't only give them a new substance, but it's the way the substance reacts with the club and the distance they can hit and travel and everything else.
Apparently, our teacher said if you find golf balls, never to be tempted to cut them open because they explode.
I don't think that's true.
Isn't it?
I don't think
She
so.
said they were so
But I'm
compacted
not-
that they could explode. So
I'm not willing to
I
find
have no
out.
idea. Has anybody ever done that? Is it safe? It doesn't sound
I
very
have
safe.
seen them with a hole in it.
Right.
I've even, in my research today, I've even found out the average number of dimples on a golf ball.
Oh, go on then. Is that one of your questions?
No,
or-
no, it's about 370 odd on average.
There you go. 370
Yeah,
dimples.
somebody
Ooh.
actually managed to put 1,700 odd dimples on a manufactured golf ball on one occasion.
I wonder
but-
why.
When I was reading the research, they said the fact that you could no longer get hold of them probably means it wasn't any
Very good.
benefit.
No, just a novelty.
On average, about 371 now.
Well, you
72
heard it here. If ever you're
dimples.
on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, it's the final question. You
Oh, I
know.
tell you, to find a question and a answer, I learn all sorts of strange and wonderful things. There
Right,
we
Lise
go.
was saying, same here, Caroline, it's always cloudy when there are shooting star showers. It's not easy to say, they're shooting star showers or northern lights. And Ed was saying, somebody on a local Facebook group posted a pic of a line of lights over Cardiff last night. They said meteors or Skylink. I would say if they were in this complete line, we saw them when we were in France. So what was that? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he must be releasing more again. And you know they're not anything natural because they are so
Straight line.
uniform going across. And
Say
it's just like a big
20
huge row
of them.
of them.
Just 20 or 30 of them, like
Yeah.
going in a row.
I found it really spooky.
It looks like Santa's sleighing and reindeers going across the sky.
Yeah. Well,
Way
a bit
up
more
high.
sinister than that. I didn't like it just felt so
Elon Musk,
unnatural.
didn't it? Launching his satellites.
Yeah.
And they launch in a row and then they go
Yeah,
off
they
into
disperse
separate
and so
orbits
it's usually
later.
that they just launched them if you see a row. So I would say that was probably satellites.
Yeah, if it's a long row going in a perfectly straight line high in the sky, that's probably what it is. We saw a light in the sky this morning.
Yeah.
Yes, we were looking out and the sun was rising, and just alongside the sunrise, over the mountains, there was this light in the sky. And Caroline at first thought it was the sun catching on an aeroplane, because we're on a flight path into Bristol here, aren't we? Bristol that way, Cardiff that way. And she thought, but then we looked and we thought, but it's not moving. The only thing moving was the cloud and the sun. This light was staying there. So Caroline checked.
I've gone onto Google.
Quick check on the old Googly
Apparently it's
Googly.
Venus.
Pardon
Very
me?
bright. The
Which at
morning
this time
star.
of year is known as the morning star and is bright in the morning
Whether
sky.
that's right, I don't know, but that's what Google told me.
Yes, so that was interesting too.
Oh, Lexi said, Phil, you should be the new chaser. Just got to think of a name for you. Ooh.
Oh no, I
the
wouldn't
beast has
sur-
been done.
I wouldn't
Oh.
survive 5 minutes.
They'd ask you a cricket or a Coronation Street question, you'd be gone.
And yeah, you see this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We used to watch that years ago. And when we got up to the sort of £20,000 question or the £50,000 question, I had a chance. But I would never have got past 1,000 because they asked things like about a cricketer or about a soap who plays the part. I haven't a clue.
Oh, the FA Cup from 1964 or something.
You know, they're simple questions for people who aren't interested in that, but I wouldn't know. And of course, as I keep saying to people, because of my short-term retention memory, I am an expert in my field for the duration of the time that I need to be. So every time I conduct a service in the job that I do as a funeral celebrant, I am an absolute expert in that person's life, their experiences, and all of the things that matter to them and the people around them for that hour. If you ask me tomorrow, I wouldn't know because I'm moving on to the next one. And it's the same, all this information, it's all going in there, but it's there somewhere. But I do not have the retrieval system for it except for when I focus. So please don't be fooled by the magic of camera. I deliver the camera, I know all the stuff I'm saying, I learn all the stuff, I do all the preparations for the quiz, I learn all the stuff. There they go.
It's really funny because you'll notice now I pointed this out. Phil is talking and he's quite fluent, and then he's got to remember a date, and so he speaks really slowly, and he
Search of a
says
brain.
1942, and then he carries on normally, but I can see him slowing
Yeah.
down. He's thinking, oh, what was the date? What was the date?
As soon as I have to retain a name or a date, and I'm in trouble because I don't get the flow.
No.
But that's why I love to tell the story rather than just focus on the minutiae of detail that you can get out of a history book. And I like to get those silly, crazy links, like between the two earls that fought over the castle and the guys that get in the boxing ring and fight for the belt and the prize and the money.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like to see those links in things and just take us from 1290 right through to the 1960s and 70s. You know, it's nice to see those things.
Oh, hello, Jeannie. Ribble Finds and Crafts at 7 a.m. this morning. It could be the ISS. Not sure what the ISS is. You'll have to let me know. Let's see.
The International Space Station.
Aha, well done, Phil. Yeah,
Aha.
International Space Station. It could have been, yeah, because the sun was shining brightly on Sunday, but it was a long way. I don't know. It could have been, yeah.
Yeah, it was sat there
Well-
anyway. It was sat in the western sky from here, the eastern sky. Sets in the west, rises in the east. Is that right? Yeah. Sat over there, and it was just to the right of the sun as the sun came up this morning.
Well, Lexi says, okay, so we need to go on a team quiz show. I'll take the soaps question. Done.
Oh, and big announcement. Welcome back to the duck cam. It's been a little while
Yes.
since we've had updates from Steve on the ducks. Lovely to see when I was checking that the ducks are doing well
Yep.
and are back on camera. So there we go, I remembered.
Yeah, we duckified again.
Yes, indeed we are. Indeed we are. Right, do you want another question?
Yes, let's have
Should
another
we have
question.
another question? Okie doke, folks. And this question, I was just talking about the earls and the boxers. This is a boxing question.
Oh, as in Boxing Day?
No,
As
as in boxing the sport.
Amazon deliveries?
No, boxing the sport. Because Johnny Owen, aka the Matchstick Man, boxed as a bantamweight, which meant that his weight limit had to remain under 118 pounds. When he stepped on our scales, if he was over 118 pounds, couldn't go in the ring to fight. He also had to be above, I believe it's 115, so it's quite a narrow window. It's only 3 or 5 pounds, I'm not quite sure, but there's that window of weight.
I'd have to chop off various body parts to try and get smack on in the morning.
Well, sometimes they do in that day. Jockeys
They
are
do?
No, they work out to try
Yeah,
and
and they don't eat and they
you
don't
know,
drink, or they
you
do
know,
drink.
try and get rid of the fluids, or they have water to try and get themselves up. But you've got to be under 118 pound, and as you could see from the statue they made of him, he wasn't a big chap. He looked like you could just push him over, but I wouldn't try,
No.
because he was very good at what he did. Sadly, he lost his life doing what he loved, which was in the boxing ring, and he was fighting for the world championship at the time. So my question is, which of these boxing weights is the lightest? Bantam, that would be A. Lightweight, that would be B. Or featherweight, that would be C.
Go.
So what do you think is the lightest of those three? And by the way, if you're thinking, isn't bantam a type of chicken? That's where they took the name from.
Yep.
They actually took the name from the bantam chickens when they came up with the bantam weight. But which of these three do you think is the lighter
Lots of answers
weight?
coming in.
Do you think it's A, bantam, B, lightweight, or C, featherweight?
Ooh. This will be interesting.
Yeah, I think this could be a very interesting question.
In our house, my father would watch the boxing, but it was mainly the wrestling he liked. And I don't know if any of you remember, I don't know if they ever went over to the States to wrestle, but it was Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, and they were huge, and they used to bash bellies into each other, and they used to have, ladies would come up onto the boxing ring with their umbrella and hit them over the head. It was complete theatre, but it was a great laugh. I remember watching that, and I always used to enjoy it when they have the wrestlers with personality coming on.
Oh, yeah.
They were quite fun.
Oh yeah, Mick McManus used to be on there.
He was too sensible, Mick McManus.
Yeah, they had a
He
few.
just used to wrestle. I wanted all the performance.
Our youngest is really into the wrestling, but it's all WWF now. But they were really into it, are still into it, and love it. But some of their favourite stars are from their teenage years and childhood.
Now, isn't it? Like 15 years ago.
And was it last year or the year before that Ali got Joe a recorded message from their hero Mick Foley, wasn't
Yes.
it?
What's his name? His stage, because I suppose Mick Foley isn't his real name, but he's got another name. He's not the Undertaker, is he?
No.
There were so many different ones. Mick Foley. Does anybody know who Mick Foley was?
Oh my gosh, he used to wear a leather mask on his
Yes,
face.
I can't remember what he
Mankind.
was called. Mankind, that was it.
That was
loved
one
it.
of his personas, was Mankind. He was also Cactus Jack. See, I know my stuff.
Wasn't he Dude Love as well?
Probably. Now, trust you to remember Dude Love.
That's worrying, isn't it? Oh yes, I remember Dude Love.
And actually,
Mankind. Thanks, Bonnie Tyler fan.
he's going to be in Caerphilly next month. Because...
We're on lift duty and
No,
dog
it's
sitting
not.
duty.
No, he's not in Caerphilly.
Oh, he didn't?
No, if somebody else is in Caerphilly next month, he's coming to
Oh,
Liverpool.
That's right, yeah.
Joe's hoping to go to Liverpool, yeah.
Some wrestler come into Caerphilly,
Yeah.
so...
Ooh, Joe likes, because I'm going to be doing transport for them and looking after the dog so that they can go and have a day out.
Yes, they've got a rehomed, what's it called? Boxer dog.
No.
No, what?
Bulldog.
Bulldog, that's the one.
Got the right letter, love.
Yeah.
I've got it. Yeah.
So-
They got a... It's one of those...
But not one of these XL bully
no,
things.
it's a
And-
totally clapped out, lovely, beautiful prince.
Poor thing Prince. He can hardly walk 'cause his feet. He was
The
really
old-
badly bred, and it's really sad to
Old
see him.
English bulldogs, isn't it?
I
The
think
Churchill
so.
dogs, the ones that
yeah.
you see on the Churchill
Oh, yes.
adverts and
No.
all that. That's the one.
That's the ones.
Right then, folks, can I say I am impressed?
Oh, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah. In Tennessee, they call it wrestling.
Ooh. I am impressed because I thought this may be one of those questions when we may not get 3 correct answers. And we've got about 6.
Ooh, that's impressive.
So I'm impressed.
It's not the sort of thing I would naturally know.
Yeah, because the reason that I'm impressed is because I think that if you were relying on a good guess, you may go featherweight. Because feathers are very light.
I would have gone for bantam as the lightest. I don't know if I'm right, because I haven't seen the questions this week.
And some people may have gone for lightweight. But a featherweight is 126 pound limit.
Right.
A lightweight is 135 pound because it's light as opposed to middleweight and heavyweight.
It's light as opposed to heavy.
Yeah, so it is actually bantam.
Oh, there we go. I just guessed it because bantamweight, they always remind me they had little chicken legs, because generally the wrestlers were the boxers and everybody was so big and thick set, and if ever they had the bantamweight come on, they always just, for some reason, they must have mentioned bantamweight, and I thought, oh, they do have chicken legs. When I was young, and it stuck.
Bantam is not actually the lightest of all boxing categories. You can get down.
What's
to
the
as
lightest
low,
then? Have they got a flyweight?
They
Or
have.
am I making that up?
They have. And you can get down as low as 105 pound. But of those 3, bantamweight is the correct answer, which means our gold podium goes to Ed Creative,
Oh, well done, Ed.
and our silver podium goes to Anne Goodwin,
Well done, Anne.
and we got 2 spanners on the podiums because Phyllis is on our
Well done, Phyllis. It's a
dark
spanner night
horse. She knows
tonight.
her boxing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Phyllis Williams has got the 3rd place on the podium. So well done there, folks. Well
Yeah.
done.
Oh, Phyllis said paperweight. Yeah. There we go. Oh, no. Jeannie used to watch wrestling. I used to see Sweet Daddy Siki. No, I've never heard of him. I don't think he ever came over to the UK direct. Not that I would have known. Not on a Saturday afternoon, because Rachel was saying her dad used to watch Saturday wrestling. It was the horse racing and the wrestling, and then the pools coupon. Do you remember all the pools? And they say like Barnsley 3 and like Scunthorpe 0 and no score draws and all this. My father would be there ticking off his little piece of paper to see if he'd won the pools. He never did.
I'm with you, Ed. I'm with you. Ed's friend was a boxer back in the 80s and won a championship. But Ed said I wasn't too keen because I didn't like getting it.
No. That's the thing, you don't just hit people, you get
But
hit back.
obviously, having a best friend who was a boxer was helpful because you took the gold podium with your bantam answer.
Yeah, and some inside information, Phyllis's father was a boxer, so that's why she understood what was what.
There we go.
And Lexi remembers watching sumo wrestling on TV.
Oh gosh.
Now they'd have won
another
with me
world
because
altogether.
they used to come poof along. If they come at me, I'd run out of the ring. I just wouldn't. No, that's fine.
Yeah, they're the two that we remember. They were the big stars, Ed, Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks.
Yeah, if you've never seen them, have a look on YouTube and see if they got any videos with Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, one or the other or both. I can't remember if they ever fought each other. I get a feeling they did, but I may be wrong.
There
but
we are.
They were really entertaining.
Phyllis definitely had inside information on. He was a dad a boxer.
Oh,
He was bantamweight.
Oh, well. Oh, cool. If you got that wrong, you'd have been in trouble then, wouldn't you, Phyllis? Right,
Yeah.
shall we have another question because time is moving on?
I thought we just finished a question. I'm going to be questioned.
Well,
now.
we do a question and then we'll have some news.
Oh, go
We're
on.
going to
then.
try and be on time tonight without rushing the questions. Probably won't be.
We were very happy to eventually find the crypt.
Yes.
I wasn't kidding. We were within 5 or 6 minutes of saying, I think we're going to have to call it a day.
It was, well, you may have
When
seen
you
me
saw the terrain,
looking down and we walked down there looking
Yeah.
for the crypt and then we climbed back up and then we walked
golf-
around the building.
taking the golf course was a good idea. That gave us relatively smooth ground,
It wasn't
even
too
though
bad,
we
was
were
it?
walking in the rough, obviously. But we did have permission to cross. There is a sign saying you can go through. And we spoke to a golfer who gave us the advice, stay to the left of the fairway, follow it all the way around, which we did. But when we got there, there are no signs there. There is no notices there. There's nothing telling you where the crypt is at all. It's just looks like a wasteland.
Yep.
Much of it has been taken out with the quarry. The stones have been taken down and
got
used
some
for
beautiful
they got-
farmers' field walls, all made
Yes.
of castle stone.
The dry stone walls are very nice because they took the stonework, so there was no clues, but we found it. So we were extremely happy to find it because it would have been hard to
It
make
would have
that
been a really
film.
boring video
That-
if we said, no, we didn't find it.
That's right. We didn't want to take you
Bit
to the
like,
top of the hill and then bring you back down again. Now we thought that wouldn't work. Saying that, it was a great reward for a long walk.
Oh, it was amazing, and to think
And
that
steep
you could
climb.
just go into that place for nothing. There's nobody keeping an eye on you. It's not the sort of place I think the Vandals would bother to go. It's a long walk, but it was lovely to have the opportunity to go there, wasn't it?
And
Not the sort of
obviously,
thing you would expect.
youngsters do go up there because there were cans and evidence
Little
of a
bit of
fire and
graffiti,
that.
not much.
So I think they'd been up there camping, you know, they'd go up and probably dared each other to spend the night in
Yeah,
a
you
crypt.
can imagine
you know?
that,
Can
can't
you
you?
imagine that? No.
That's what you should have done, is gone for the night, set up the cameras and say we're going to spend the night in the crypt.
No.
I bet everybody would watch all night seeing if we got scared.
Aye, we do an all-night live show from the
Yeah,
crypt.
that would be fun, wouldn't it?
So, my question regarding the crypt is regarding the word crypt, which originates from a Latin word crypta, which means vault. That comes from an ancient Greek word, kryptos,
Ooh, ancient Greek as well.
which means what? Is it A, cave,
Say slowly.
B, room, or C, hidden?
Go.
Which of those three do you think it is? Do you think kryptos, which anglicized it, I've spelled it C-R-U-P-T-O-S. Does it mean cave? That would be A. Room? That would be B. Or hidden? That would be C.
Now, Lexi, She said, set up some speakers and scare them. Oh, that would be cruel. But saying that, I think it's Thorpe Park. I could be wrong, but I think it's Thorpe Park. I read a news article today, and they've got a fright night, and they had all the creepy sounds, and for some reason the sound system went bonkers, turned up full blast and went all night. And all the neighbours, I think it was 3 o'clock in the morning, was it? They managed to stop the sound. And that must have not been very amusing, especially if you've got little children. They're probably absolutely petrified. I think I wouldn't have been very happy until I knew what it was.
Well,
Right, so
we've
do we
got
have a
a
winner?
full range of answers. I would say that the correct answer is probably the most popular. The second most popular seems to be Room. The least popular, but still having quite a few votes, seems to be Cave, but the correct answer is Hidden. So if you take the Latin word hidden and you take the Latin word vault and the ancient Greek hidden, you get a hidden vault, which is what you've got really in a crypt, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's very much, it is what it says.
It is.
So we're looking for C. And they're there again. Bonnie Tyler fan 34 is the first C on my list, I believe. Yes, they are. So Bonnie Tyler fan 34, you've taken a
Well
gold
done, Bonnie
podium.
Tyler fan.
Ribble Finds and Crafts, you're on silver.
Well done, Ribble Finds and Crafts.
And then Carlin Scott, you're on bronze.
Well done, Carlin.
And then just to mention, Beata, Andrea, Judy, Rachel, you were all coming in. Christina, Linda, lots and lots of correct answers.
Well
but
done for
they
getting the right answer.
yeah, they're flowing in behind. So they were our top answers, and there's a few others below. So there we are. Bonnie Tyler fan, it's Ribble Finds and Crafts, and Carlin.
Oh, Beata said, we have the word cryptish. Cryptish? Am I saying that right? Cryptic?
Right.
Not quite sure. I'm not very good at German. I do try, and I know a teeny weeny bit.
Of course, we speak of the crypt in the castle, but it's very much associated initially with the churches, wasn't it?
Yes.
Very often they were the burial places under churches.
Because when we were looking for it, we went down, and I said to Phil, I don't think it's going to be down here, because one of the things they used to do when they have battles, they'd go and steal people's bodies and saints' bodies, so they'd want it right up in the centre of the castle, so that people couldn't get and steal the bodies. But if it was down below the defences, then it didn't really have any protection. That was my thought. And turned out I was right, because it was right up the top.
It was.
After we walked past, well, at the top, and we should have turned that way. We sort of went there, but we skirted around it, and as we turned, we didn't see the wall behind us. So
We missed it on entry.
about an
and,
hour later, we come back up the hill, and there it was.
But we got to find a dragon's footprint. We got to find some lovely trees, and we got some beautiful views.
We did.
Are you going to put the doogly dip for news?
Linda said, yeah, I had to stop the ironing to answer. Well, there you are. She's determined to show she can do it. So let's have news, isn't it? Here we go. So this is a Mercy Ship reunion. 30 years and a continent separated Catherine, her daughter Regina, and a nurse named Ali, who was did I say that right?
Yeah.
Who was visiting their home in Sierra Leone and saved her life by funding an emergency surgery. Regina wasn't born on the day of that faithful meeting, technically, because Catherine was dying after 4 days in labour. Unable to afford a caesarean section that might have been the end, if not for Ali, then in her 20s, who was visiting the hospital for a nearby charity. And I'll read that, that doesn't make sense, I'm reading it again. Unable to afford a caesarean section, that might have been the end, if not for Ali Hogarth Hall, then in her 20s, oh God, this is a really confusing sentence, who was visiting the hospital from a nearby charity. Work on that one yourself.
Control.
You started me off,
I'll be reading it.
She managed to acquire the £70 cost for the surgery in 1993 and formed a close bond with Catherine and her new baby Regina, but lost touch. Then 18 months ago, as Catherine and Regina prepared to go to work abroad, a charity shop called...
Charity shop.
Oh, you're so... I thought I'm going to get...
The word shop isn't even there.
I'll do Right, come on, you can do this.
I'm glad it's not a sad story. I'm glad it's got a happy ending. This is the most
18
inappropriate.
months ago, as Catherine and Regina prepared to go to work aboard a charity called Mercy Ships, which operates a hospital ship on the coast of Sierra Leone, they got to see Ali, now 52, as she climbed aboard for a stint of volunteer work. To see Catherine again is very surreal, really, said Ali. Not something I ever expected until we made contact again. It was overwhelming. The bond remains as strong as ever, and this time they have no plans to lose touch.
Yep, we'd have been in trouble if that was sad news, wouldn't we? It's just as well as happy news. So
I can't look afraid of
So if anybody was struggling to work out exactly what was going on there in between the hysterics,
Did you understand that? I think I did.
in 1993 a lady was dying because she'd been in labour for 4 days, and she was simply dying because she didn't have the 70 odd pound it took to have a cesarean. Somebody paid for it.
Phyllis says commas are Alfred. You saw how many commas with that sentence they were in places. I've never seen commas in such positions before in my life. I think you would have been comma happy with it.
I weren't.
You
I
cut
don't
and
write
paste,
it.
did you?
I cut and paste it. I take the story straight out of the
Oh,
Happy
dear.
News online.
Right.
I go searching the internet for news, dear.
Right, come on now, let's be grown up. Stop making me laugh, everyone.
But I tell you what, isn't it amazing?
Peggy missed the whole thing.
Right.
Sorry, Peggy.
Peggy, in 1993, a young mum had been in labour for 4 years, for 4 days. I nearly got it right. Go to your room. Go to your room. Monkey, take her to your room. A lady had been in labour for 4 days and
Oh, yeah. Oh.
would have died without a cesarean operation. Couldn't have a cesarean operation because where she lived in Sierra Leone, it cost £70 and she didn't have any money. And somebody paid for the operation for her. And 30 years later, they met on a mercy ship. Because something I know about the story that isn't actually in the piece that I copied for you
Thank goodness.
is that inspired by the kindness of Ali, who paid for the operation, they now train to be nurses themselves. So they all end up with run nurse ships. Yes, it won 4 years. Yeah, it was 4 days. 4 days. They were apart for 30 years and she was in labour for 4 days. I gotta be honest, mind, even as a man, I can appreciate being in labour 4 days would be funny. Would it? That'd take a smile off your face. That's for sure.
People asking for
did-
them, so I'm drinking, what are you drinking? Water?
I didn't know happy news could have such a positive
Oh,
effect.
it's brightening me up. Oh, dear.
Should we have another
I
question?
think we better.
I think Anne got a good point. 4 days in labour probably felt like 4 years for the poor
I
woman.
would say so. I don't think I've ever done more than about 12 hours.
Mind you, it really brings home reality, doesn't it, when you realise the difference between life and death of a mother and child is £70. You know,
Mad, isn't it?
and sometimes it's less than that. So, some of the shots that they give in some of these countries that prevent children dying are literally pennies, but it's just getting the thing that's needed to the place it's needed at. And it also makes us appreciate how fortunate we are. Okie doke, here we go, folks. Sadly, as I mentioned earlier, there's not a lot left of Morlaix Castle. And the ruins that were there have been depleted because Caroline has already referred to it. As we drove down off, Caroline said, "Oh, they got really nice dry stone walls up here." I said, "Yes, I think they address stone from the castle." But it has to be said, whilst there is virtually nothing left of Morlaix Castle, we do have more than our fair share of castles in Wales and across the United Kingdom. My question is, as there is nothing left on the surface virtually at all of Morlaix, which of the British castles is the tallest? Now, I'll give you 3, and you can choose from these. Do you think it's A, Carnarvon Castle, B, Edinburgh Castle, or C, Warwick Castle?
Go.
There we
Oh,
go.
thank you, Jeannie. Yeah. Flower Girl said, happy hour. Got it? Yes. Come to Wales, drink the water.
Aye. Right, so where are we going to go?
Lots of answers coming in. Not many C's. Interesting. I don't know the answer to this. I'm going to tell you. Right, do we have a winner? I know we do.
We do indeed. We do indeed. We have 3 in a row. Yes, we
Teammate
do.
said no idea. C.
Right then. Well, if you went with C, you're close. Because
That was mean when they built everywhere.
I believe C is the second highest. But it is still 100 foot short of the highest.
100 foot, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Ed is an interesting question. Tallest by wall height or by height above sea level?
Wall height.
Right.
Height from the ground. Because the actual winner is 250 feet, whereas Warwick was 148.
Right.
But the actual winner looks a lot higher than 250 feet because it is high on a plinth, because it's in Edinburgh.
It's on a volcano, isn't it?
It is. It is up there on top, and it appears 400 and odd feet from when you stood
Right.
down looking at, but it's 250 feet is the height of the castle that was built on the top.
Hello, Red
it
Leader.
is by far the tallest castle. It is Edinburgh, which means the answer is B, which means the correct answer coming in first is with the man again, the Victorian mudlarker.
Well done,
Adam's
Adam.
on form tonight.
On the ball.
Oh, for sure. Lexi B has got silver.
Well done, Lexi.
And I'm so pleased to say Beata, who has been 4th more than once tonight, is now on the podium.
Oh, at last. Well done, Beata.
Yeah, and we've got a few just below there. We've got Rachel and Christina again, and Andrea
so
and
close.
Ribble Finds. They've got the correct answer, but they are just down below. So the first 3 correct answers are Adam, Lexi and Beata.
Well done.
So there we go. Yeah, I was surprised at the difference. I didn't realise it would be
No,
100
it's a
foot
lot, isn't it?
difference between them when you're talking 250 feet. But it is one very tall castle.
Imagine if you're just finishing off the top layer of the wall and you drop your trowel. You've got to go all the way back down to the bottom, pick it up, bring it all the way back up again. That wouldn't be funny.
Yeah, well, there you go. I've been to Edinburgh. I've been at the castle. Wearing a kilt.
You have, and lots of Japanese people were taking photos of Phil thinking he was a Scottish man, and he wasn't. He
There
was a
was
Welsh man.
Me and one busker. We were the only 2 wearing kilts in the whole of Edinburgh that day.
So there are pictures in Japan of Phil wearing a kilt.
Yeah, been to my brother's. I was best man at my brother's wedding. He married a girl from Cooper in Fife, and we were all in kilts. And I decided I'm getting my money's worth out of my kilt. I'm going to wear it back to Edinburgh, wear it around Edinburgh, then go into the shop, carry my clothes with me, and get changed in the shop and give it back to him. And got my money's worth.
Yep.
And then I had all of these.
Oh, Albreda Veldy gave us $10 super chat. Oh, thank you so much, Albreda. That's really kind of you. Are you going to do any harvest festivals? Now, we don't.
They have harvest
They have them
festivals.
in churches, but they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But for a
We'll
service
have to-
rather than a display
Yeah.
around
We'll
here.
have to check out and see if there's anything happening.
I haven't
if there's
heard of
anything
anything, but
happening.
we'll have a look because it would be good because some places do lovely floral displays and vegetable displays, things like that. We'll check that out for you and
see what we can
if
do.
we can find one, definitely we'll go. But I know generally around here they are just
They tend
church
to be,
services.
Yeah, each church and chapel has a service, and they'll have their loaf of bread. We used to do it, didn't
Yeah,
we?
the
When
wheat
we
sheaf shape.
used to get the wheat sheaf, and sometimes with a little mouse on the bottom made out of bread. And when I was a child, we used to have harvest at school, and we used to have harvest at church, and we'd all bring in goods, and they collect them all, and they take them to out to the elderly, and they distribute the food. to the hospitals and things like that. But of course, things have changed so much now. You can't take food into the hospitals.
No.
So they tend to do it differently these days. But we'll have to check that and see if there's any events going on, sort of within any of the agricultural areas for harvest. Because of course,
our church had the most unusual harvest wheat bread, shape of bread, because I used to make it and I didn't have a pan big enough. I didn't have an oven big enough, so I'd bake the head and then I'd bake the bottom and then I'd stick it together with cocktail sticks. It looked okay.
yeah. And if I went out on Harvest Sunday morning to minister at another church, then I used to bring a piece back. And
always
once or
left
twice I,
butter on it.
I did Harvest at New Bethel, and they would have the proper one done by the baker.
Oh, yes.
And I'd have the bottom piece, bring it over and chop it all up for all the people in our chapel then. That was the way to do
I
it.
don't know whether it is, but it always tastes so much nicer. It just feels I think it's because it's so... Well, normal bread is like this, but it just seems soft inside. It must be the way they cook it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't got a clue. No good asking me.
Yeah. Albreda is saying, we just had a blessing of the animals, but the US is awash with fall festivals right now.
All right. Oh, I bet it's
I dare say, I wouldn't mind saying that probably 10 years from now, we will have fall festivals in Britain.
we tend to
because
follow America, don't we?
Fall was nothing in Britain. Nobody did anything about autumn. Halloween was here, but it was quite small. Then Halloween grew. Now we see all the decorations in the shops. People are making things for
The
fall.
wreaths on the doors.
The
and
wreaths
things.
are going on doors. Never saw it in 50 years, and now it's starting to come. So we tend to follow the trends of America, but some 10, 20 years behind. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if it doesn't grow, but we will check it out.
We
and
will,
see.
yeah.
And if there's something
Be an
happening
interesting
around the
thing to do.
country we can get, so we'll go, because we'd love to see it, and we'd love to share it with all of you.
Yep. So
Right then, would you like another
we'll see one.
question, dear?
Okay then. Albreda said this bonfire night you have that. The problem we got this year, they cancelling. There's a real shortage of money at the moment with a lot of councils, and the council is the people who run the areas. And so they're cancelling their firework displays, and lots of people, some places even getting their Christmas markets cancelled. It's
Yeah,
amazing
Christmas
just how
lights
much
are being
Christmas
cancelled.
lights are cancelled, so things are really tough at the
Yes.
moment. So I don't know whether we will get. I think they said that Caerphilly's cancelled this year, the fireworks.
I'm not sure.
Pretty sure. I'm not sure. Check it out if you were planning on going, but I'm sure I've heard they've cancelled it.
There's a lot of things happening because the budgets are extremely tight. Because of course, when we get inflation, we all realise it's affecting us in the house and everything else. But of course, all the Meals on Wheels, all the services provided by the local authority, all the diesel they put into the wagons, I think, all goes up in price as well. And they can't just turn around and say, excuse me, we didn't know inflation was coming, so can we have more rates? The rates will go up at the end of the year, but they can't take money off us in between.
No.
The rate is set, so they have to then curtail things. We're very fortunate because in some parts of the United Kingdom they have no libraries, because that was one of the things that went, and in Wales it was decided libraries are the lifeline for education for the young, and we all have libraries, so that's one good thing.
Do you know if they've cancelled the Caerphilly fireworks? Have you seen anything? He was saying Christmas lights were almost cancelled in the local village.
Yeah, a lot of the locals are not sure.
Interesting to know.
We'll have to check that out, and we will let you know next week. Okay,
Right.
ready for the question?
Yep.
Have we done the
Yes, we
diggly-doo?
have, and then we got chatting again.
Yeah, I know, we're terrible. The king not only fined the two earls for fighting over Morlais Castle, he also stuck the pair of them in the Tower of London. He was not a happy man. But my question is regarding the fine that he gave, because the fine was for the equivalent approximately of £75,000 in today's money. Would have bought you 117 horses in 1290.
Yeah, but
when
where
you
would you
were
keep them?
fined. I haven't got a clue. Well, if you own all that land, you're right now.
I suppose so.
If you've got an army, you need them. So the question is, £75,000 fine, today's money, how much were they actually fined in 1290? Was it A, £100, B, £300, or C, £500?
Go.
Now this is a very topical question. We're always talking about inflation nowadays.
Yep.
People saying that the money in your bank isn't worth what it was the beginning of the year. How much would you have had in the bank? How much were they fined? How much was the sum of money? It's equivalent to £75,000 today. Right then.
Christina says to Flower Girl, I'm not sure what the conversation was, sounds better than the garlic festival. I know they have at least one garlic festival down in Cornwall, and they do garlic ice cream, and some people say it's lovely. Now I don't think I'd pay for garlic ice cream to find out it was like, ugh, has anybody had garlic ice cream? It doesn't appeal to me. It strikes me as being a little bit bitter, unless they've roasted it first to make it a bit sweet. So let me know if you've had garlic ice cream. I like garlic in my cooking. I like garlic butter, that sort of thing. And once I had this garlic pickle, and it was in a jar, and it was like a piccalilli yellow colour with all garlic, whole garlic cloves, and that was lovely. I've never seen it since. But garlic ice cream, I'm not convinced. I do like smoked garlic. I first saw that when we were over in France, and now they've started doing it in Asda's, which is like Walmart, and in our Morrison's, and that's quite nice. I just love smelling that.
Right then. The correct answer is, I believe, again, the least popular answer. Because they were fined £100 each.
There we go.
Which is equivalent to £75,000 each. £100 then would have bought you 117 horses, and it would have taken a tradesman 10,000 hours to earn it. That's a lot
of money.
A lot of hours. But it was £100. So congratulations to Judy Erickson, because you said A. Then I've got to come right down the page to Ribble Finds and Crafts. You said A. And Jeannie Nash, you said A. So that's our gold, silver and bronze going to... Oh, hang on, I missed one. Sorry, I missed one. Judy, you are on gold. But I missed, I think, Carlin. Carlin Scott, you're on silver. Ribble Finds and Crafts, you're on bronze. So my apologies for that. I almost missed one there. And then we've got Jeannie Nash also got it right. Anne Goodwin got it right. Linda Peterson got it right. And Peggy got it right. And they were all the correct answers.
Nice. So I'm completely confused who the first three were now. So
And
well
the
done
first
to the first
three were Judy, Carlin and Ribble Finds.
So Judy, Carlin and Ribble Finds, well done.
Sorry for that.
Got
Sorry
a
for that.
conversation going on about this garlic ice cream here.
I'm going to make my excuse that Carlin put a little A and I missed it because I saw capital A, and I missed the little one because my
Okay, we'll let you off.
Reading down a list, I missed it. Sorry about that. I'm glad I spotted it, otherwise I would have...
Christina has tried garlic ice cream, and Peggy said, nope, no thank you, no garlic ice cream for me. Now, Jason had black garlic and oob ice cream, and it's delicious. Now, I like black garlic. Our daughter started us off on that. And you don't mind it, you, but I love black garlic. Oh, you could just sit down and eat loads and loads of it. It's quite sweet, so I'd imagine that would be okay if it's black garlic in the ice cream.
I like chips.
Yeah. Which is fries to anybody in the States.
Indeed.
And Flower Girl said, yeah, no garlic ice cream for me. Let's have a look. Christina said, lovely creamy texture with that distinct garlic flavour. Never again. And Jason said, delicious. Oh, I don't know now. Would I try it or not? I'd probably check if it was black garlic flavoured or garlic flavoured. Oh, and Ed loves garlic. I remember I was listening to a man once, he was talking about health foods, and he was saying about you should eat a certain amount of different things, like some different spices and things, and he said about garlic, and somebody said to him, how much garlic should you eat? to be healthy. And he said you should eat, if people don't pull back from you when you speak to them, then you're not eating enough garlic. I thought that's a really bad advert for garlic.
Yeah.
It's okay as long as everybody eats it, but if one person doesn't, it could be a bit smelly.
Okay, the final question of the night.
Right, here we go.
Oops, we've disappeared.
I get it. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, it's nearly bedtime.
Yep, it's a minute after 10 o'clock. So all I want to know is, folks, how many times do you think Mankey appeared in this week's video? Do you think it was 3? That would be A. 4? That would be B. Or 5? That would be C.
Go.
Right, let's see now.
Right, it's trouble I keep getting absorbed in the conversation. Granita, so watermelon lime granita has been delicious in this summer heat, said Flower Girl. I've never had granita. What's that? Is that a bit like the UK has slush and it's all bits of ice in fruit juice? Oh, sorry. Something like that? I don't know. It's just a guess. So what is granita? Let me know, please. I want to know now. Sounds delicious. Right then, so do we have any right answers in?
We do indeed. We do indeed. And I'm glad to say that my answer matches with Ribble Finds and Crafts, which is always good. But I also have to say to Lexi, I'm sorry, whatever Ribble says isn't counted as a correct answer. You got, especially where yours came up after theirs, you really should have copied the number. Yeah.
Maybe they got it wrong.
Yeah, and they weren't the first. It was 4 times. It was 4 times because he was on the wall. He was on the ground with the golf ball. He was on the tree at the end piece. And of course, he was on one of the shots of the boxing statue down in Merthyr. And they were the 4 shots that we had. So, first top spot to Judy Erickson.
Well done, Judy.
Second spot to Ribble Finds and Crafts.
Well done, Ribble Finds.
And the third spot to Jason S.
Well done, Jason.
So there we go. It's Judy, Ribble Finds and Jason that have taken it. And a mention for Lexi for saying, I'll say the same because she was in between. She was there in the right place, but I'm sorry, not allowed. So there we go, folks. 4 times.
Flower Girl said, yes, it is something like a slushy. So there we go. Now I know.
Well, we've just about finished on time, folks. It's 4 minutes past 10.
Yeah.
The night is over. Thank you for being here. There's 40 of you still with us at 10 o'clock UK time. We just love being with you.
It's been a great night. Thanks for all popping around and sharing our Sunday evening with us.
I will share my happy news next week because Caroline got so happy during her happy news. It took twice. It took twice as long, and I had to explain it to those who couldn't hear through the giggles.
I will be much more grown up next week.
She won't.
If you believe that, you believe anything.
I know. There's no truth in it.
But over on my art and craft channel, people have no idea I'm such a crazy person. I keep laughing all the time.
Okay, let's make our way.
Yeah, so we'll see you all next time. But until then, don't forget, have fun.
Bye.
Bye.